we have here. All right, so let's talk about this one. All right, so this is actually really funny. So you see this dumb motherfucker right here. And so this dumb motherfucker took credit for this. Remember a couple weeks ago, these very, very interesting individuals. Like I would even go as far as to say that these individuals are of profound interest. So basically they tore down property and decided to destroy it. And they were, okay, so this is the weird part about this, is they were screaming fuck Antifa while they were burning a Black Lives Matter banner. Again, like, what?
Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa!
So that's weird. That's super weird. So the guy in charge of the Proud Boys decided to take the fall. He was arrested yesterday, and I'm going to read from the New York Times because I love the New York Times and I'm a corporate sellout and I get all my news from the New York Times. So with that being said, let's move on. Washington. The leader of the Proud Boys, the far-right group that has vocally supported President Trump's efforts to overturn the election results, was arrested on Monday on charges of destruction of property. He arrived in Washington to protest the congressional certification of the election later this week, according to a person familiar with the matter. Enrique Tarrio, the chairman of the Proud Boys, was arrested by Metropolitan Police on suspicion of burning a Black Lives Matter banner torn from a historic black church in Washington during protests last month that led to several violent clashes, including stabbings around the city. A spokesman for the Metropolitan Police Department confirmed that Mr. Tarrio, 36, has been arrested on charges of destruction of property stemming from a mid-December incident in downtown Washington. Upon his arrest, he was found to be in possession of 2 high-capacity firearm magazines and charged accordingly with possession. That's actually really epic. That's actually hilarious. What a dumbass. The arrest also pits the Justice Department against some of Mr. Trump's most ardent supporters. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington acts as the main prosecutor's office for the District of Columbia. This is where it gets good. This is where it gets good. I love this shit. I love this shit. Reminder, the Republican Civil War is coming and it's going to be great. Just wait until the senatorial elections are over and Donald Trump can finally take the mask off because he no longer has to feel like he has to cover for the senatorial elections, right? It's going to be great. A police spokesman did not immediately respond to a request for comment. I don't care. A lawyer for Mr. Tarrio could not also be immediately located, and Mr. Tarrio could not be reached. Well, that was a great sentence that conveyed a lot of information. Mr. Trump exhorted his supporters to descend on Washington to express their dismay with the certification of the election of President-elect Joseph R. Biden II on New Year's Day. He promoted what he described as the big protest rally in Washington. The big protest rally in Washington, D.C. will take place at 11 a.m. on January 6th. Locational details to... Locational. I love that. Donald Trump goes out there and says senatorial elections. And then he goes out there and says locational details. Fucking locational details. I will provide the locational details very shortly. Anyway, I'm not going to read. Actually, I am. Let me make this simple, he said. I did it. So, guy, I don't know if he actually did it, but he's taking credit for it. And so that's going to be interesting. We're going to see how this goes. Again, I'm going to be streaming the joint session of Congress tomorrow. I might also be just streaming the whole day. Like, should I just start at 10 a.m. and if these protests have live streams, just continue from 11? Should I just stream the whole day tomorrow? Because who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen? Like, people could die tomorrow. It's totally possible. Like, think about the culmination of everything that's been going on. Think about all the protesters that were shot and killed during the summer, right? Think of all the escalating violence all the way up until this. This is their last chance. I guess maybe Inauguration Day is their last chance, right? But they've been kicking this can down the road. And the can has, like, let's say it's a full can of Coca-Cola. And they've been kicking this can down the road. At some point, the carbonation is going to build up and the can's going to explode. Is that going to be tomorrow? Or is that going to be on the inauguration? Or is that going to be at some other point? Who knows? But at some point, this can of high fructose corn syrup and carbonated water is going to explode, and it could be tomorrow. So I don't know. But if you're going to these events, be sure to be safe. Because again, seeing all the stuff that's happened, you don't want, if you are going to a protest, you need to have a buddy. If you don't have a buddy, you don't go. That's simple. You just don't go. I know, well, this and that, and if you don't have a buddy, you don't go to a protest. End of story, okay? There is no if, there is no and, there is no, but I wanna. If you don't have a buddy system that's willing to stay there for the whole time, with you, with full consent, then you don't go to a protest. That is first and foremost. But again, if anyone wants to link me streams of any of this stuff, even if it's from far-right sources, I don't care. I'd be more likely to watch a far-right stream just because it's funnier, you know? So, like, you know, link me the streams tomorrow and we'll see how that goes. But again, leader of the Proud Boys, that's interesting. That's very interesting. It's certainly, you know, it's interesting.